So next year I try out for the Dolphins. That's what Lad Moreno shows.
Hey, what's going on? Aaron Murray here with another edition of the Offensive Breakdown with Ben Jones, Tavarres King, Knowshon Moreno, as we get ready for UAB week, coming off a big win versus South Carolina. Some unfortunate news for the Georgia community. Did y'all see the injury with our boy Nick Chubb? I mean, Knowshon, we'll go with you first, man. Like, wasn't a dirty hit by any means. It just right, or was it? Like, what? How do you view that hit from a running back?
It didn't necessarily look dirty. It was just look awkward the way that he went down. Looked like the defender was kind of holding on to his top of his body, like his upper half of his body, kind of, and dragging him down that way. And I couldn't really see real closely of like how his legs look, but I think it just got caught up on someone else or something like
Oh,
that.
it
It
looked pretty
looked
bad.
crazy. Yeah, it looked
Yeah.
bad, man. And you just feel for a guy. I mean, especially how great he's been playing the last couple of years, and he was just gonna go into this year and do it again, right? And that's what we were all expecting. He was a top running back in the NFL. I feel like coming into the season and last year. So it's just tough to see it, man. I always cringe when I see anyone hurt their knees, man. I've had 2 ACLs. So, I know what that grind is like. I know what your mindset has to be, and how grueling of a recovery that can be. You know what I mean? It gets lonely in there. You're by yourself. It's
Mm-hmm.
you're your own cheerleader pretty much. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You got to do all the treatment alone and things of that nature. So it's a long recovery, but we got his back. I know his teammates got his back, and now it's on the road to recovery and getting back strong.
I guess we'll see what exactly it is. Hopefully, some news comes out with that. There's
Yeah.
like some Theismann stuff with that knee going back in the other direction, which was nasty. And
Yeah,
staying on the unfortunately for the injury theme here, I think our boy Ron Corson told Kirby this week that this is the longest list of injuries that he's ever experienced at Georgia during his time, which is I keep telling people like the things that hurt a team that's supposed to win a championship, turnovers, penalties, those are always big, but injuries. It just you catch that injury bug, man, it will derail an entire season. Right now, Georgia has been fighting that injury bug the entire season. Mims is out at the right tackle position right now. You got that tightrope surgery. Ben, talk about kind of how that affects an offensive line early on the season, kind of moving guys around because of injuries.
Yeah, the biggest thing was they have been rotating in Fairchild, their guard, giving Rutledge a break, giving Trust a break the past 2 weeks. So for him, he slid right in, and I think it actually helped us in the run game. He's one of the strongest guys on the team. When you talk to the guys, he's powerful, and moving Trust back out to his natural position at tackle, I think he fits better out there because he's not the mauler, the big strong guy. He plays hard, but he's better fit for tackle. So after he went to right tackle, they actually ran the ball better. They protected better. Early in the game, Trust was struggling on the inside. He got beat early on the pass pro and got a negative run right off the bat on the first drive. So once they moved out, hey, we ran the rock this week.
Yeah, we'll get to run what we
Knowshon
did about running the
boys.
rock for South Carolina. About damn time. Last one on the injury theme, and then we'll move on from the depressing stuff and focus more on the win versus South Carolina and what to expect this weekend versus UAB. TK, there's been a lack of explosive plays down the field, and we'll touch on some other reasonings too. But Lad is sneaky quick. We've seen him what he can do with double moves. We can see what he can do with allowing the quarterback to push the ball vertically down the field. Like, is that the missing piece in your mind, or like how much will that add the juice when he is back?
I mean, I definitely think missing Lad McConkey has a good chunk to do with the explosiveness outside that's missing. Because as you mentioned, it does give you another tool to do some jet sweeps with. It does give you another tool to do some things downfield with. So having Lad on the field is a huge asset, and not having him is a knock. So I definitely think that getting him back will be huge. But like you said, that bug has bitten us, so we don't know
Yeah.
when that'll be, bro. Like we don't know when that'll be, but you got to think that kid, coming off the year that he had last year, you got to think that he is just itching to get back,
Mhm.
to get back in there. And I know that Ron Corson and company is itching and doing everything they can to get him back because, like you said, he's a huge asset, and I think that he has big play ability, whether it's given to him behind the line or if it's a double move, as you mentioned, which he does so well. So yeah, man, I think missing him is a key factor. So getting him back will be huge.
Yeah, it'd be good to see some shots down the field, and he's one that could do that. Ben brought up a good point, Knowshon. We finally had someone grab the running back room by the balls and say, "This is my position, and I'm going to kind of take it and run with it." And Dejan, who we were looking forward to seeing healthy, get out there and do his thing, was the kind of that juice and spark that we need at the running back position. What did you see from him in that game for South Carolina?
Yeah, I was like, finally. I was like, finally someone there that's, hitting the whole full speed and dragging some people with them, giving us that spark, that change of speed that we were looking for. So it was great to see him back out there. Another weapon on this offense I think we're going to need going forward because a little lackluster right now when it comes to scoring points and the team in general. It's going to get tough down the road, is what I'm afraid of. But it was tough. It was great to get to Edwards back. I mean, he had 118 on the ground, which was love to see on 20 carries, right? So if we continue that going throughout these next couple games, and then the guys like the Millens and the Bells get in. I like Bell. I can't lie. I remember I said
too.
I
like
Bell.
And I didn't know that he played running back in high school. He played running back in high school, right?
Okay. I didn't know that.
I think so. I think he played.
What are you trying to claim him now?
I'm not trying to claim him, all right? All I'm saying is the boy run hard, all right? And that's all I want, man. I want them boys to be running hard in that backfield, doing what we do back there, catching the ball off the backfield, protecting, doing the things that we do, right? So I don't care if it's whoever else is going to come in second, needs to get the job done. So I liked what I saw from Edwards in the first week back, and I'm expecting him to continue that success.
I tell you what, like it's Edwards and I think Bell number 2 for running backs right now. Like Bell is that
take that 86 off, right? 86, man. What number here? 80 something. Take that 80 something off, though. If you want to come into the running back room, I need that 80 something off, okay?
You gotta let him know where his roots at, B. You gotta keep that.
The roots is with a running back. That's why I hear. You know what I'm saying?
Good hands.
All right. Ben, the offensive line was dominant. You mentioned a couple of times like there were some misses here and there, which is going to happen. But I thought in the second half, especially that first drive in the red zone, and we'll touch on some red zone issues too when we kind of bring this up. But you saw, especially in the zone game, creating opportunities for the running backs to make decisions early, some really nice cutback lanes. Even with the injury, did you feel like that unit was working at its best the third game of the season?
Yes. They had the first drive was not pretty. They let a guy come free up the middle early. Hey, we saw Carson can run now. He stepped up, made a move, gained some ground. That's what we were trying to see. And, hey, he delivered some balls while getting hit, and that's what we wanted. But they were definitely way cleaner in the second half. First couple drives was sloppy. It was somebody every play, but they got it, the rhythm down. When they come out the second half, they were rolling. They ran the hound out of the zone. They got downhill, and little Edwards, he was making people miss. He was getting those extra yards. He was gaining more than they were blocking for some plays, and that's what you want as your running backs. They were gaining some yards.
Hell yeah. One guy who's kind of somewhat stood out to me, he hasn't played a lot, TK, is Rara. He had the big catch in the first game. He had a big catch in this game as well. And it's funny because I'm watching Mississippi State's offense struggle versus LSU. And I see a veteran quarterback struggling with this offense as they go from the air raid to more of a pro style. And it just shows you like it's not easy just to learn a brand new language, a new playbook, and go out there and execute. But when you see Rawa make those big plays down the field, something in this offense is somewhat lacking through the first quarter of the season, and you see what he can do. How do you find ways to get him on the field a little bit more?
Well, I mean, you said it. You see those splash plays. You see those. You see the ability. You see the tools that are there. I think that the more that he learns, the more confidence he builds in himself and this offense, because as you mentioned, it's tough. Bobo's we all played in it. It's just a tough offense. You got to learn. You got to know side adjustments. You got to be in cue with your quarterback. You got to know a lot of things. So once he gets that down pack, and gets flowing well in that direction, I think that things will start clicking for him, and you'll begin to see more of those splash plays. You'll begin to see more of those explosives from Ra Thomas.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I need some more post routes down the field because, as we all know, man, it ain't easy to score in the red zone.
Yeah, but
I'd rather throw a 40-yard touchdown and get it over with. Like screw red zone offense.
Run the ball in the red zone. That's
Hey, that's why, like, me.
That's how you win games. Run the ball and then you throw it to old Bowers.
Backpedaling a little bit. Where's my guy Arian?
I know. Where is it? You tell me where Arian is. I was looking for
that
TK
room is so
there.
packed. Come on now, coach.
It is. It's jam packed. So, and I think I mentioned this in our first episode. You want to get, as a play caller, you want to get the ball in all of these guys' hands, but there's only one football. So yeah. I mean, yeah, like where is Arian is the question I have, like, because that right there is a downfield threat. We saw it in the dome. We saw it in the Natty. I mean, we saw it. We've seen it.
Opens up. You run the rock now, everything opens up from it. If you're able to run that rock, people have to stop it. Ball. Hey, you know they're finna throw some balls.
I'm with you. They did in the second half, Ben. Like that first drive in the second half, they got in the red zone. They said, "Screw it, we're just gonna run it and run it and run it." I would like to see Brock get a little bit more involved, though. Like that's something to me that, like, 7 catches for what do you get? Like 7 for 54 yards. Like that's not enough for one of the best weapons in America. Like he needs to be getting, 7 for 80, 90 and a touchdown.
He missed him on the flea flicker down the line. That could have been a big one.
Mm-hmm. He kind of slowed down on that one too.
Yeah, it looked weird. The other guy was more open to me, but I ain't no quarterback.
I would like to see Brock kind of keep pumping it and then catch it like this. He kind of stopped, turned, and it was a little bit awkward going up for it. But I'm with you, boys. Like run the ball, and then find a way to get Brock involved. I think will help out a lot. And I think another thing that will help going forward, and I'll touch on Carson for a quick second, is there's a trust that has to be built between him and the receivers and Bobo. And I think it's taking some time, but I would rather a quarterback get through his reads, be able to go from 1, 2, 3, 4, find a check down and get the ball out, take positive yards, than a guy that's just sitting back in there, jacking it off, trying to hope that the first receiver gets open and then gets sacked.
I don't want that either.
No one likes jacking the ball off back there.
No.
Yeah.
No, don't do that.
It.
Please
don't do that. He ain't doing it. I love it. He getting the ball out.
Yeah, you got to get it out.
Oh my goodness. Yes, I agree with you when it comes to that. But seeing them push it down the field can work as well. You know,
it will be nice. It will come.
It will be nice.
Mm-hmm. All right. My phone was blown up. I don't know about you guys, but everyone and their brother was texting me and adding me on social media that Bobo sucks and Bobo needs to go. All that. I don't know if you guys got it too, but do you guys remember that, like, as players? Do you feel like those guys hear that? Does it affect an offense? Does it affect the team, or they really don't care about the outside noise?
For us, we didn't have the social media. We didn't have anything like that. Unless you were gonna pick me up and call me on the phone. Shoot, we were balling on offense. We had always had a good offense.
Yeah, we always had
Knowshon to you, like we were putting up points.
Yeah, but people still hated Bobo back in the day. I mean,
I didn't read the red and black. I didn't read the newspaper.
Yeah, I mean, people.
You're the wrong person to ask because Ben doesn't even know what TikTok is. Like, let's ask someone who actually has like social media.
I ain't got none of that social media crap.
Yeah, I guess I would say. I guess I would say like we would hear the noise, but I mean, I think he and Bobo and himself did a good job of like just ignoring the bullshit. You know, like you're winning games, you're getting better, you're trying to figure this thing out. It's football. Everything changes weekly. Everything changes week in and week out from an injury standpoint to this, that, and the third. So you're figuring things out. I think that again, like you said it. You just said it. I mean, he's got to get familiarity with his cue, his tight ends, his receivers, and then things will get clicking. So I mean, everybody's like ready to like push the red button right now. I feel like
I know everyone's so ready.
But I don't think it's time.
They are. Just for fun stats for everyone, Georgia is 5th in the SEC, averaging 39 points per game right now. And then total offense, they're third in the SEC in total offense with 467 yards per game. So, I mean, I know it's not versus great competition, especially the first 2 games of the season, but like there's really good stats. I think if you would have kicked a couple of those field goals and made them and scored one more touchdown in the red zone, it's 37-14. I don't think anyone's bitching.
I see what you're saying, though, Aaron, but at the same time, you mentioned it just now. Those first couple of games are pretty much stat games, right? So you would expect to see. Look, we don't got a top 10.
But everyone else had stat games too, though.
We don't have a top 10 receiver right now when it comes to yards. We don't have a top 10 running back right now when it comes to yards. Like, I'm a little surprised and worried about that, especially from the competition that they played. It wasn't the highest competition, so I would expect them to put up more numbers. But, okay, I see what you're saying. They put up some points. Defense helped them out on that as well. But, all right, I'm still a little nervous. And going back to Bobo, I see what you're saying when it comes to he has to be familiar with his quarterback and receivers, right, TK and Aaron? But I feel like he needs to maybe not feel so obligated to put in, like, give everyone a touch. Not everyone can get a touch. You said it, TK. It's only one football. But we need, who is going to be that guy, right? Who's that guy? It's probably Bowers. So put that thing in his hand, like you said, Mary. Put it in his hand, man. Give him some more yards. Give him some more touches. And then we can get into a rhythm. When he's getting in a rhythm, then we can spread the ball around a little bit. But I just feel like maybe some of the play calls is like, okay, he has so many pieces. It's like, bro, let's go over here to him. Let's go over here to him. When it's like, nah, let's just go ahead and go to our playmaker right now, which is Bowers, and then we go from there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like,
I'm with you, man. Like,
he needs
good things
some time.
happen when 19 gets the ball in his hands. So keep forcing him as much as you can. I'm all for it. Bobo, you got this, buddy. We us former old guys, we got you, buddy. We're these streets are getting hard, but we're fighting for you, Bobo. We're fighting for you. They're getting hard out here. Make it easy on us. I want to be sending out middle fingers in my tweets next week to people after they score 70 points versus UAB this weekend. Georgia versus UAB this weekend. Talking about getting a rhythm, but there are some injuries still going on. How much would you guys push the playbook in a game like this, Ben? Like, would you want Bobo to open up a little bit? Or are you still trying to just play complimentary football? Let's just keep getting through it, keep playing young guys, and that's the mantra. Or is it kind of like, F it, we're this far in the season, let's get rolling?
I want to see them. I want to see them score. I want to see the young guys play because we're up by 40 at half. I don't want them to see them when it's a close game. I want to see the backup quarterbacks in, like when we played your Idaho States and all those teams back in the day, because we scored every drive in the first half. Like, that's what I want. We should dominate.
I'm also hoping selfishly because I believe Trent Dilfer is their head coach, and I do not like Trent Dilfer. I hope
they a little private school here in town. I want them to get dominated.
I want them to score 100 points on Dilfer.
Why you don't rock with Trent Dilfer? We have to talk about that.
Yeah, another time.
No, I'll tell you why I don't rock with Trent Dilfer. This was so I was in Elite 11 when I was a kid coming out of high school, and it was fun. Like, Stafford was one of the mentors, and like Mark Sanchez and my boy Chase Daniel. Like, you would go there with 10 of the other top quarterbacks in the country. We would have a good time. We would compete in the morning. In the afternoon, we'd go to like Disney, or we'd go to Laguna Beach, or we'd go to like these dinners. And like the counselors, the guys in college, they would do the drills with us. But then like they would get a limo and they'd go out in the town and they would go to the clubs. They go to dinners. Like, it was an honor to be there. Like, you worked, you had to pick the brains of these college kids, and then you had to have fun. Right. Dilfer came and took it over, and he turned it into like an all-out war. It was like from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. at night. All you did was compete. They actually cut kids and sent them home. So I'm like, this is like, I'm telling all the kids, like, man, enjoy it. It's summertime. Like, get to know your boys. Like, they're like, screw that. Like, I don't want to go home. Screw him. I don't want to get to know him. I'm like, these are like going to be your boys. Like, so that pissed me off. Then one night I went to Dilfer. I said, hey, me, EJ Manuel, and a couple of counselors, like, we want to go on the town. And he got mad at me because I wasn't taking it serious enough, and like threatened to like kick me out of camp.
Come on, Murray.
And I was like,
come on, Murray.
This is
serious,
June.
It's serious,
June. And these are 17-year-old kids, and you're out here crying on TV because you're having to cut a kid. That's your damn fault for turning it into this stupid, competition.
Mm-hmm.
So like him and I just didn't see eye to eye and just never have gotten along since. So that's the long story short right there.
Hey, well, you don't like him, I don't like him.
Yeah, we don't like him. He's just too much. He's a
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
All right, back to what needs to get done this weekend though. Knowshon, we talked about Edwards taking it over. What do you think that room is right now? Like, do you think someone else gets ticked off, or based on kind of what you've seen from the other guys, you kind of think they just kind of back off and let him do his thing and kind of be that play their role?
Nah, man. If you're any kind of competitor, man, you're gonna find any way to get on that field. You know what I mean? You don't want to get your carries taken away. A lot of these guys have, inspired to go to the next level, right? Everyone wants to go to the next level. So taking carries away from you is not going to help you. You know what I mean? So I would assume that it's just lights a fire on them again, that, they take advantage of each and every carry. I mean, Milton actually ran hard this last game. I felt like when he got his carries, got his chances, that boy was running. I was like, okay, something's going on. Like, you can kind of feel when someone is on your neck, breathing on your neck, where it's like, bro, they're going to take some of my carries or they're going to get playing time over me. So you're going to do as much as you can and take advantage of your opportunities when you're out there. So I would assume just that room actually gets stronger because of this competition. I don't think it get weaker. Edwards is back. He's going to get a majority of the carries. And then when you get your chance, if you're a Milton, if you're a Bell, if you're Cash, whoever it is, once you get your opportunity to get in there, I would assume, and I think that those young men would take advantage of it and keep that train rolling. So I think this makes the room stronger, honestly.
TK, one player that you want to see based on the first 3 weeks kind of take that next step in this game?
I mean, we talked about him a little bit earlier, but I think Rara for sure. I think seeing him evolve in this offense will definitely heed a little bit more explosiveness. But another cat, I think that came on a little bit more. We saw a little spark from him is Marcus Rosemy-Jackson. I think that I think getting him going will be big too. So those two guys out wide, and then I mean, just that room in general, bro. We keep bringing up this word. I think it might be the word of the first half of the season: explosive. Let's get explosive, please.
Yeah, I'm with it, man. Get some big plays on the field. All right, let's do a little score prediction. Georgia UAB this weekend. Ben Jones, what's the score going to be?
45-3.
Man, you tripping. You just saw how they played South Carolina, bro. And we were talking about they were about to put up some numbers versus South Carolina. Them boys want to keep it close. I don't know anymore. I can't give you that though, Ben.
I just hate UAB.
You can't give them the 40. You can't give them the 40. What you say, man?
They just got dubbed by Louisiana.
Well, yeah. Did you see what South Carolina was going through? They were getting smacked as well.
True.
All right, no show what you got.
Go Sauce.
Oh, you want me to go? Yeah, Louisiana just put 41 on them boys, but nah, man. I must say
Georgia's a 42-point favorite, by the way. 42.
And what were they
favorite.
versus South Carolina?
26.
I mean, I'm just saying. They were 26?
They should have.
And that was a 7-point game? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I'll give Georgia, give me 30. Oh, dang. Because I do think they should reach 40 on these boys, right? They should reach 40 on them.
Oh, now you want 40.
Nah. Okay, give me the 40-something. Give me the 42.
They ain't scoring on our defense.
Yeah, they ain't scoring.
They ain't going to score? They got a quarterback over there, and they got a running back over there, too. They got a quarterback that to sling that thing around. Get them boys 17. 42-17.
Wow.
40, yeah. All
yeah,
right.
man. They're going to score 17 on them boys.
17's aggressive, but all right, whatever you're saying.
Wait, hold on. You know what? Give me 13.
No.
Give me 13. 13. 13.
Okay.
10-3. All right. They ain't getting 13.
I bet they get 13.
Bet.
I bet.
All right. Yeah, not 13. Watch this though. 48-10.
All right. 40-10. No one's covering. All right,
no one's
well,
covered.
I'm going to go
What you going
45-3. I'm going 45-3. I
45-3.
think that's right around Ben is too. I don't think they score a
That's what I
touchdown. No chance.
Cover Jones.
Well, why is
They
it
might-
no
they might
chance,
sneak
Coach?
one-
I
they
mean,
might sneak one in late.
No chance. No chance they score.
I'll bet you as well.
Zero.
That I'd say they're gonna get a score. Because listen, if we up big, you know the 2 3s come in, they might get something lucky.
Yeah, but we're at the point in the season now that he ain't going to put the 2s and 3s into like fourth
Late.
quarter.
Late.
Yeah, a little bit late. It's going to be a
Yeah, let
little
me
bit
get
later.
7. Let me get 7, not 10, Sauce. Let me get 7.
Okay.
you guys, a bunch of pansies.
I'm just saying.
All right. That's it. All right. Well, that's another edition of the offensive breakdown for the University of Georgia. Ben Jones, Knowshon, TK. We will see you guys next week.
I'm gonna
Goes
get my shirt
Dogs.
game going.
And
Because he be
remember,
coming with the shirts.
I know he'd be looking
Oh, I got the
fresh.
shot.
I know
I'm
he's
gonna
looking
come
fresh.
get you next week.
I didn't know it was Jersey night.